Hey guys, Sean with Long Honeymoon here. In this video, I'm going to tell you a true story in 3 parts. A couple of years ago, my wife and I were traveling with our RV rig from west to east, coming back home for the holidays, and we found ourselves passing through Texas. Now, when we travel and are trying to cover a lot of distance with our RV rig, we typically travel in the afternoons and into the evenings. That's because we're really night owls. So typically we sleep in the mornings, we get some work done, have some coffee, have lunch, and then we roll out on our day of travel. I know that makes us quite unusual in the RV community, but that's just how we roll. So in this particular evening, we were rolling into the town of Fredericksburg, Texas. Now, if you've never been to Fredericksburg, it is a charming small town in Texas Hill Country. The town apparently has some sort of German heritage, but it's also surrounded by a number of wonderful wineries. Well, in this particular evening, we arrived around dinner time, so we stopped in town, had a nice German dinner, and then we just decided to overnight park in a Walmart parking lot because it was getting kind of late in the evening. So we rolled into the Walmart parking lot at around 9 p.m. and we did as we normally do. We maneuvered our RV rig to the far corner of the lot. And as we were backing our rig into place, I noticed an object lying in the gutter next to the curb at the extreme edge of the parking lot. Parked our RV rig, I stepped out, and sure enough, that object was a wallet, a man's wallet, something kind of like this. Okay, it wasn't exactly this wallet, but it was similar to this wallet. So I picked up the wallet, and naturally I looked inside, and I discovered cash, credit cards, driver's license, business cards, all of what you would expect to find in a man's wallet. Well, I rifled through the wallet and found what looked like a contact number, and I called the owner of the wallet. Phone rang, the guy answered the phone. Hello? I said, are you missing a wallet? Yes, we've been looking for it all day long. Well, I told him to come meet us at the front door of the Walmart and we would return his wallet to him. About 10 minutes later, car pulls up and there are 2 people inside the vehicle. Christy and I hand back the wallet to its rightful owner and they go home happy. I didn't really film any of this because at the time, I didn't think too much about it. This brings us to part 2 of our story. Earlier this year, we were traveling through Idaho Falls, Idaho. And you might notice when I make these long honeymoon travel videos, a lot of times I'm putting cameras in different weird places just to capture daily life as it unfolds. Cameras just like this one. Well, while we were in Idaho Falls, we were refueling our beloved F-250 Seymour, and I took this camera, stuck it on the fuel pump, and was recording that whole delightful process. Well, you can guess where the story's going. We drove off, and I completely forgot that I had the camera sitting on the fuel pump. And these cameras are worth several $100s, plus the footage on the cameras is valuable to me anyway. But we drove away and we're driving around town, and actually we're leaving town after doing some shopping to go to Craters of the Moon National Monument when suddenly I realized that I did not have that little action camera with me. And I've looked around inside the truck and in the camper and I can't find it. So here we go again. I've seen this movie before. So we hit the brakes, turned around, drove back into town, went back to the fuel pump where I thought I had left the camera, and sadly, my camera was gone.
Well, that's where it was.
So I assumed, of course, that someone had snatched the camera and taken it home as an early Christmas present. Well, I decided to go inside the little convenience store at the fuel station just to double check and see if anyone had turned in a camera. And I remember there was kind of a long line just to get up to the cashier. I didn't want to wait in that line, but I did, knowing that it would probably be a complete waste of time. I'm here to report there are honest people in the town of Idaho Falls, Idaho, because here's my little camera on the beanbag. I can't believe it. I asked the cashier if anybody had turned one in, and sure enough, someone had. So, thank you to the anonymous, honest person in Idaho Falls, because I got the camera back. My wife is applauding. I'm honestly shocked. Thank you. Yay!
Somebody turned it in?
Somebody turned it in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Still people in the world.
It's so funny. I went to the cashier and I said, excuse me, I'm missing a little GoPro type of camera. It was on a beanbag. And the guy just looked at me with a flat stare for a second. And of course, the cashier's wearing a mask, so I can't tell what his expression is. And he just reached around. Boom.
Oh, wow.
Thus concludes part 2 of our story. On to part 3. Later in this same trip, we found ourselves down in St. George, Utah, and we were replenishing supplies, including getting more propane for our travel trailer. And we went from St. George down to Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City. Well, while we were in Las Vegas, my wife went into a store to make a purchase, and then she came back outside with a puzzled look on her face and said, I can't find my wallet. Christy's wallet was missing. Oh boy. So we commenced with a search of our truck and our travel trailer for her wallet. Could not locate her wallet. Later that day, Christy signed online and she had a message in her Facebook account from a woman in St. George, Utah. Hey, my husband found your wallet lying in the middle of the road. How can we return it to you? So we gave the woman our destination address in California. And sure enough, this kind person in St. George shipped Christy's wallet back to her. When we arrived at our ultimate destination in California, Christy's wallet was waiting for her. I share this story for a couple of reasons. First of all, I think maybe it says something about the concept of karma. If you put positive energy out into the world, you will receive positive energy back. Do good and you will receive good. Secondly, I think this story may say something about our country. There have been a lot of stories in the media recently about theft, about flash mob stealing, and it can be pretty disheartening when you tune in every day to the media and social media, and you are showered by negativity. Recently a viewer made a comment that really resonated with me. He said, Sean, the country that you and I grew up in is long gone. And at times it can feel that way. The media has a business model to trigger your negative emotions about our country because they make more money that way. However, I still believe that the core of the country we grew up in still exists. I think it's really important to focus upon your actual daily experiences rather than the reality that is painted for us by the media. Yes, there are areas that are in trouble. There are some areas of our country where people are stealing. There are other places in our country where they still have honor system stores. While we were here, we saw people pull up all day long, who will go in, select the items they want, check themselves out.
So the store here at the farm is a self-pay store.
Sure, it probably depends a lot on where the wallet happens to be lost. But overall, we're probably a lot better off as a country than you think. The people in this country who do conduct themselves honorably are kind of the glue holding the entire country together. So my message with this video is be the glue. I think if you're a member of our community, you already are part of the glue, because just judging by the people that we have met in person traveling around the country over the years, I'm confident that all of our audience are the type of people who would return a lost wallet to its rightful owner. So that's it, guys. Just a quick story of real life on the road, traveling around with our Airstream travel trailer. As you might have guessed, we are back in the Loloho National Forest, relaxing in the lovely Wilderness Lodge here. I wanted to wrap up with a couple of quick announcements. First of all, if you're doing any kind of holiday shopping on Amazon, please consider searching for your purchases through our store. It's amazon.com/shop/longlonghoneymoon. We will be doing a few live streams on Amazon throughout the next month or two, so watch for that. Secondly, while we were in California, we got our truck, Seymour, coated with ceramic glass. We're gonna talk more about that in a future video, but if you talk to Vinny and Brian, you may be able to get your tow vehicle coated with ceramic at the same time they're handling your RV. I am thankful for you. Don't forget that. And thank you all for bearing with us as we make it through this season. I'm Sean. This has been a very unusual episode of Long Long Honeymoon. Until next time, what do we say here? Loloho.